15 all.
Well, this is a good backhand. Look, he's inside the baseline, takes the ball on the rise, and really catches Rafter napping.
$40-15. $40-30.
The second serve's been a problem for Ivo. Double fault only halfway up the net.
Game, heuberger. New balls, please. Ball change. First game, third set. Rafter leads 2 sets to love.
Heuberger survives and holds on to his first game of the third set. Tidy little backhand, Mark, at times, isn't it?
He needed to win that game, and you're right, the backhand is a good solid shot. It's a two-handed shot. He steps forward with his right leg. That's the significant part about that backhand. He really gets his weight moving into the ball. It's a very economical action, but it's been a very effective shot. And I would argue to think that that was the stronger of the two wings, and Pat Rafter needs to take that into consideration. But an essential game for this man to have won the first game of the third set. He's got a huge task if he's going to turn this match around. I think it's going to be unlikely if to win this, but he needs to, in this set, to make sure that he holds his serve throughout the set and hope that he can get a break of serve. So far in the match, he hasn't had one break point against Rafter's serve. In fact, Rafter at no stage has lost more than 2 points in any one service game. And that's a measure, I think, of how well the Australian has been playing. With the new balls, love one.
Love 15.
Brought out the best form in heuberger. As you mentioned that he's not been looking like breaking serve.
That's typical for a commentator, isn't it? But he certainly is charged up. He's on his toes. He's eager.
$15-30.
A little bit of luck for Australia's leading tennis player. Half volley, delicately played, but just catching the top of the net when he was under a little bit of pressure. Still at 30 all.
$40-30. Juice.
More timid second serve there by Rafter, allowing Heuberger to really get set with the two-fister. And Juice for the first time now.
Advantage Rafter.
Difficult volley, and Pat Rafter really extracting the maximum amount of penetration from below the level of the net.
Game Rafter. One game all.
Well, one of the great features of Rafter is so quick onto the ball, and in so doing he creates the opportunity for the angles and the easy putaways. So he did well that game. He was love 30 and 4 good points to equal the score, 1-1 in this third set.
Love 15.
Beautiful angled half volley from Pat Rafter. Great control off a difficult shot and an aggressive return of serve.
Love 30.
Six double faults.
15-30.
Only 25% of the points won when his second serve goes into play.
All.
A little bit of luck in Ivo. Statistically, things weren't looking good at 15-30 and fault 1. Now at 30 all.
Net for serve. Oh! 30-40.
And that's what happens after a series of rather negative second serves. Just tried to put a little bit too much on it and came up with a double fault. Rafter now with break point. Third game of the third set.
Oh! Juice. Advantage Heuberger.
It's often just a game of inches. The heuberger forehand looking like it was going to go long, but it just dropped on the line, and then the rafter, who appeared to think the ball was going to go long, just pushed his backhand just part of an inch wide. Opportunity gone missing.
Game, Heuberger. Heuberger leads 2 games to 1 third set, Rafter 2 sets to love.
Well, this is a match from earlier today out on court number 2. At the moment, though, it's rain at Wimbledon. The covers are on, and it's not looking too good. It's still raining, and the light isn't too good, so we're not too hopeful that the players will come back onto court today. Only 14 matches have been completed on day 2 of the championship, so a very different Wimbledon on day 2 as it was yesterday. But out on court number 1, Britain's number 1, Greg Rosetsky, was there with his left ankle taped. He was taking on Mark Draper, the qualifier from Australia. Well, Greg had won the first set. He lost the second set 6-2, and he's down a break in the third set. So when they do eventually resume, whether it's tonight or tomorrow, then Mark Draper will be serving for a 2-1 lead. So it's not looking too good for Britain's number 1, Greg Rosetsky. He was limping throughout the match and had the trainer on court briefly, and was certainly only playing at about 70%. But that's the story with the British number 1. But let's return to the US Open champion, Pat Rafter, who was out on court number 2 earlier today.
So a little bit of sunshine now, thankfully, on this court number 2. We've seen so little of the sun today. Scores 1-2.
Love 15.
Heuberger certainly has raised his game on the return. That's a good return, and he really fakes Rafter with that forehand.
$15 all.
Beautiful combination of half volley from a rafter, and then stop volley positioned well close to the net.
$40-15.
Beautiful volley, meeting the ball as he moved forward to give it extra penetration.
Game Rafter. Two games all.
Yeah, and a very solid game on the rafter serve, a combination of serve and volley. Not overpowering in the serve department. A high percentage of first serves in at 76%. He's winning 79% of the time when the first serve goes in. And amazingly 69% when the second ball hits the